Oh, fucker. You can do it, bud. Come on. That's it. Good job. Good job. There's always a way. This way. This way. Hell yeah. Good job, boy. We got the boys out. They're already on the move, hunts and stuff. It's always good to see. I got some land nav course changes I'm going to do here because I'm just not willing to sacrifice quality in the course. I want students to get the most of and to be able to leave with some confidence in their skills and abilities. So I have 2 courses that are set up, actually 3. And I already made changes to one. We're making changes to the second one. The first 2 courses are all part of the basic navigation course. And then the third one is part of the advanced course. So the basic one really fine-tunes your ability to do dead reckoning. What is dead reckoning? It's, to put it simply, just using your compass, right? You have distance and direction, and you follow a straight line from A to B. Day 2 of the course focuses more on terrain association. So that one's a lot more of a long range course. I think we put in about 6 miles that day. They're pretty good, and it's all bushwhacking, you know. Boys, we're going this way. Come on. Now we just got off trail. The boys are excited. Ooh, there's some sign. So I got to change up a few things out here, and I want to take some time to show you some of the apps that I use to develop my course. Now, my course is a non-self-correcting course, and what that means is, hindsight, if I wanted to make changes, it'd be a whole lot easier if it was not. But a self-correcting course is what's used by the vast majority of the military, and at each point it tells you where you are currently at. And so if you make an answer sheet for some students, you just got to tell them where to go and give them 4 or 5 different points, let them go find their points, right? A non-self-correcting course tells you where to go, not where you are. Where you are could be just a name. All my points here. Boys, come. Come on, boys. This way. They went around the long way to find me. Hondo, Harley, Hondo. Here, boys. They're just having the time of their lives. All my points here are named after Medal of Honor recipients. Just pay some homage to them. Could give you a grid coordinate. Mine do that as well, as far as where to go, right? So you don't know, like when you're out here, you don't know if you're at the right spot or not. And the only way to know is to trust your ability to read a map, to determine distance and direction, to trust your compass, and to trust your pace count. All the things that we go over here. It's pretty different in its own way. Should be getting close here now. But let's take a few minutes and look at this app. All right, so we are looking at the Mill GPS app. It was a paid app. It's one of the only paid apps that I have, and it is fantastic. If you've ever used a DAGR, this is basically like having a civilian DAGR. So right off the bat, you have location, you have the ability to navigate to a position, you have your map, you have all your overlays that you can create, and then some different settings for distance and direction, altitude, speed, all that good stuff, right? So the good thing about this is when I use this in conjunction with Regrid, let's find our location here. I get all of the property boundaries, right? This is a free app. You don't have to pay for this. If you're paying for Onyx, man, you're wasting your money. So we have National Forest over here, National Forest over there. And the majority of this land, of course, is in this little section here. And that's because it's a little segmented off. Boys, there's no road access coming in through. So that means no people. So once I know those boundaries, then I can go back into Mill GPS and figure out where I want to create different points. So the first thing I did was create a pace count, and I did that by basically doing a 100-meter square. Normally a pace count is straight out and straight back, which is all well and good. But I stepped mine up to a different level for two reasons. And this is something that you can do anywhere that you're at, as long as you have a 100-meter box that you can do. Students will traverse uphill, downhill, on a slope, and we'll do it at nighttime as well for the night application course. So it gives you not just a down and back, but it gives you a down, 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 and then back. And so now you have 4 averages that you can use going uphill, downhill, on a slope, or on the grade to figure out what your best working average is for this terrain, right? And that's important because most pace counts out there are just on flat ground. The other reason why I did it that way is it's basically a miniature land navigation course. You have to go 100 meters, change your bearing by 90 degrees, move 100 meters, change your bearing 90 degrees, move 100 meters, change your bearing 90 degrees again, and then move back to your starting point. So I kind of did that to help build some confidence before going out to the course. Now, again, this course is non-self-correcting. As you can see, it only tells you where to go and what the name of the point is. So doing that miniature land navigation course before we come out here is a huge plus, and I've seen big dividends and rewards from that. I don't know anybody else who's doing something like this. So now that I have that pace count taken care of, then I can go in and looking at my map, right? And knowing and understanding the terrain that we're working and dealing in, looking at Google Maps, looking at my overlays here, I can figure out kind of where I want to put some points. So I want my points for this part of the course all within 600 meters of each other. If you're doing anything beyond that, you need to be using terrain association or working to an attack point, because it's going to be extremely difficult to maintain a bearing through this dense vegetation, like all this mountain wall, and through all of this micro terrain that's going to force you one direction or another. There's impossible to find steering marks. So I want them on this course to utilize their plotting, to utilize their protractors and their compasses, and do some dadgum dead reckoning to figure out how to get from A to B. Follow on for the advanced course, we'll do some terrain association. That's some really long range stuff. But back to the app. So I pick all the points. I go out and I physically go to each point that I want to set up at, and then I identify them. I had to go back because it's a non-self-correcting course. I had to go back and figure out how I was going to do all my placards. and then come back out and place the placards, and then come back out again and actually run through the course. So this app has just been phenomenal for me in a way that nothing else has proven capable to do what this thing does. So I highly recommend this app, especially if you have some public property around you and you want to be able to get out and navigate and do some more. Maybe you want to set up a cache, or if you're really crazy, a cache. Maybe you just want to take your family out and do some bushwhacking. Maybe you want to do some hunting. This is a great app to do all kinds of things. Let me get a little closer to that one. Boys, this way. Come by me. Harley, come by me. That's it, good boys. The trail. You can see one of my green markers here. That's my boundary. So private property is another 100 or so meters the other direction. Let's follow this one back just a little bit. So if I already had a course stoked, why are you making changes? Well, the last thing I want to have happen is for there to be trails moving in from one point to another. Again, it's basically a star course, right? People are moving from the same point to the same point each and every single cycle. So I got to make changes so that I don't develop trails that dudes can just get out and walk and say that they're good at the end of the day when they suck. So that's primary reason number one. Reason number two is I like to get out and work on mastering my craft, right? So I enjoy getting out here with the dogs. The boys, they need to know this terrain like the back of their hands. Spend so much time out here, and I want them to have confidence in their ability to know where they are at. And the more time that we get out here and spend, let's go this way, boys, the better off that they're going to be. I was amazed when I had rigs up here last time, and we went about a mile up, and I turned him loose to get us back. He knew exactly how to get us back. Boys, just like people, they learn their environment, even if that environment is a very large one. And we got some terrain here, that's for sure. Mama probably wondering where we're at. Told her I'd get this done. Hondo, you're gonna freeze your ass off. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts and your comments down below. Team, I appreciate you guys. Until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked. Team, if you want to master your craft, develop your tactical virtue, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so that you can stay up to date with future content. Consider becoming a channel member. It's going to give you exclusive access to content not available to anybody else. I appreciate you guys. Until then, you stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked.
We know you're out there! Come to my voice!